Hey everybody, welcome back to DASLABed. Today we got this weed eater. Son-in-law got it. I tuned it up, set it up, got it running for him. Used it for a year, and it's back here at DASLABed because leaking fuel all over the place. And I think I found out why. Not sure if you can see that. Yeah, it's a biggie. We have a winner. What have we got going on here? Let's see if you can show you that. Where are you? Oh, over here. Well, it's just deteriorating. Fuel line is coming apart in there. So we're gonna have to rip this baby apart and see if we can fix that fuel line. Yeah, so this looks like it's gonna be fun to get apart, and I think we're gonna need a tray for the parts, and we'll just start taking it apart. I don't know if you can see any better. The tiny little fuel line, and there's another chunk down there. Oh yeah, I can see where it goes. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know. We're just gonna take it apart. I'm not exactly sure about anything. Like, you know what? I don't think I gotta start back there. I think I can start over here. Nice Allen keys. That's nice. Not some crazy thing that we don't know where, you know, what it's about. Get you a little closer here so you can see what's going on. I'm having a lot of trouble with fuel lines. I mean, I'm getting good at replacing them, but man, I can't find something that doesn't really need to be replaced every year for two-strokes. My own personal weed eater, maybe I get 2 years out of it, but boy, by the second year is it ever stiff. And I don't know if it's the ethanol or what's going on. You see in the snowblower video I did, I ended up putting on some black plastic, or not plastic, rubber hose that I got. Hopefully that lasts a couple years. You know, maybe I'm just using the wrong thing, the wrong product. You still see what I'm doing there? Just unscrewing these things. I don't know what's going to come apart, if this is just going to come apart nicely or... All these things are just an adventure, you know, like, I'm not a small engine repair guy. I just hate to see, I mean, where did this come from? I think somebody just threw it out. I picked up a snowblower. I got it right behind me. Side of the road. Oh, a little bit of rust, maybe 10 years old. What's wrong? Wouldn't start. Probably a bad carburetor. I mean, people just throw stuff out. So it looks like this is going to split right down this case here, hopefully smoothly. I might have to disconnect these wires. They look like they're meant to be disconnected. So I don't know anything about this, if it's industrial grade. A couple more down here. You know, or commercial grade, or whatever you want to call it, like for professionals. I mean, it's a heavy-duty machine. It doesn't have string on it. It's got a blade. There's a big warning sign here saying, danger, stand clear 30 feet. You should wear that at taco night. Another crappy day here. It's going to be a cold, wet spring. Oh well. We're supposed to stay inside anyways. How's that looking? Better. What am I missing? Yeah. I'm just debating taking this thing off, this arm, because it's pissing me off already. And I'd have to take off the grip. Maybe I can just turn it sideways. Because man, that is going to be a freaking pain in the ass. Okay, that's way too big. Yeah, the same size. No, it's a bit bigger. This size. Close enough. Maybe here. It's got some nice little marking arrows telling me where to put it back to. It's well built. Everything's solid on it. Oh yeah, that's nothing coming off me. You kidding me? Hey, it's off. Okay. Just tape that on there again. At least a little bit more manageable. And a little bit over here, out of the camera view. Okay. There. Okay. Now it's loose, but by no means is it separating. I do hear things flopping around inside. There's one back here. I don't think that's going to go all the way through though. That would have to be a pretty long. Can't be that easy. Alright, I'm going to start taking screws out. You don't need to watch this. Okay, I've got this separated from this. I've broken some of the wires and this won't come off because this is on there. So I'm going to have to take that off, and I cannot. Oh, can I? Geez, I can't easily get at that throttle connection. It'd be really nice to get that off. That holds it. Get that throttle cable out. Maybe I can get this separated out here. This does not want to come pretty close. Pretty tight quarters down in here. trying to get that cable out so I can get this whole shaft separated out. Almost. 3, 2, 1. Okay. No. There's no way. Well, maybe. Well, it's going to be fun putting back together. Whew. That just slides off. Oh, shoot. That ain't coming out of there. All that for nothing. They built this like a tank. And all I'm trying to do is get from there down to here. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little nipple right there. I mean, I'm thinking I might take the carb off and clean it, but man, oh man. That is quite the challenge. That still work? Yeah. I hope I didn't break that. All I probably had to do is take the carb off. I do see a piece of hose down here though. Where's that coming from? All spider webs and everything in there. Alright, let me think about this. Okay, I'm taking the carb off. There's the choke assembly. I'm going to leave that intact. Nice thing about this, everything's the same Allen key size. Makes it kind of convenient. And there's the plate from which I just undid this rather brutally. It ran well when I had it here. I don't know. I don't think it was used much since it left here, but obviously and understandably, broken gas line, not cool. So what am I hearing in the gas tank? Probably the clunk. Yeah, there's the gas line comes through there. I don't know. I don't have any gas line that size. That's loud. All right, I'll try to get this out of here. Okay, so that's what came out of the gas tank. So, looks like it must have been just a compression fit of that size gas line through there onto the carburetor, and it just cracked. So I only need that much fuel line. Looks pretty crappy there. Yeah, just shmoo. Gummy. Really on there weird. Okay, let's look for some gas line. Go to the Horde. Okay, it's not fuel line. It's surgical tubing, like for some sort of IV or something. And I've stretched it and I broke it off here. Or was it at this end? And it's about the right diameter, so at least for one season, I think we're going to try it. I'm going to stretch it out some more because I got to get it through that hole. I'm stretching it out, and I'm going to cut it off on a little bit of a paper, a hangle, and well, what do you know? I never thought I'd get something that big in a hole that small. Oh, it's not in yet. Is it in yet? Yeah, easier said than done. I can't even see what's going on there. I can't see what's going on. I'm sure there's a good way of doing this, but I don't know what it is. Trying. That's all I know. That's all I know for sure. So I'm trying to teach the kids. Just try, for God's sakes, just try. Have fun trying too. I just can't believe that that's going to seal the fuel. Well, I think it's in. The question is, I got to get it in enough that I can grab onto it with something. I can't see. Where's my miniature grabber honors? Okay, so I'm able to stuff this in and twist it a bit to the point where I still can't feel it. But there's progress. Don't forget I stretched it out, now it's getting thicker. Should have lubed it up somehow, a little bit maybe. Okay, I'll keep working at this. Oop. Who's got your nose? Who's got your nose? I pulled it. I got it. I got it. Okay, so what I want to do is get that bad boy. I got lots of holes. I'm going to pull it. So I get some of the big... See the difference between stretching it out? Okay, it's pretty thin. So I'm pulling it to where it's nice and fat again. And then I'll cut that off flush. Now the fun part. Trying to get that on. And there is actually a metal retaining clip on there. Ooh. No, there isn't. That's an old grungy piece of... so there's just 2 barbs. There. Try to get that on. I can pull that out and pull it back, I guess, too. You want to go down into at least the 2nd barb there. And that's your fuel filter that we're attaching on there. Yeah. Still got some flow through it. Tough go. I may get some EAT on there. A little bit, a little dab will do ya. You don't want to go overboard with the heat, because A, the heat gun, well, lives up to its name. It's really hot. And it'll really soften that up. You can always go back for more, but if you overdo it... Okay, that's all it took. That's on all the way, and that'll cool off, and that's not going to go anywhere. And that's your clunk, so that sucks the fuel up. And as you get this in all kinds of weird orientations, it will continue to provide fuel for the carburetor. Upside down on all that stuff. Alright, now, one of those things where I probably wrecked more than I fixed. I gotta try to get this back on, and I hope... I'm not gonna clean the carb because I know I don't have any of these parts, and if you knew what time of the epic lifespan we're having right now, we're not gonna get any anytime soon, or it's just not that easy to go zip out to the store and get some. So that that seems to be latched on there pretty good. Although I am sure I did bust something off there. So I'm going to try to... I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. Okay, so the carburetor will end up going... back like this. No. No. Like that. No. I think we're going back this way. Carburetor like that. This came around. Listen to that wind. Woo. Where did that all go? Okay, so that's going to go there. And I know the 2 bolts there had the choke plates, but I wondered where was that screwed on? Must have been way over there. How did I do that? Okay, because there's some slack there. So that goes on there like that. That'll come around. There's a hole there. So that pin is going to go into this hole. I'll put some better lighting. A bit better. And then we got a screw down in there, and then that goes onto that plate. And I can't for the life of me remember if it was the first one or the second one. And I need 2 identical bolts like that. Where the heck's the other one? Still on the Allen key? Turn that off. Something else to fix now. That'll go like that. That'll go like that. That'll go, so we can, I gotta find that other bolt. You see it? That it? Let's pull it on it. That's gonna be long enough? Nope. Alright. Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, it's right there. That'll go there. That'll go there. Didn't look right. I know you know. That's lined up there. That could go there. And that could go over there, yeah, because the got the throttle, the detents for the choke. But what I'd like to do is get that on first. And you know what? Maybe even that on first too. Okay, let me do some thinking on it. Okay, I'm going to try to explain to you what I've been doing for the last hour. In the throttle plate that you can't see, up here, there's the cable coming in, and there's the end part of the cable. So I've broken something, and I'll try to explain what I did. So there's the throttle plate, and the cable should come in here, and the cable's going to pull in this direction. Well, what keeps the cable in there? If I look at it on a side view, okay, there's the hole, okay, that's this hole right here. The cable, you got the sheath out here, and then the cable comes in, and then on there is the soldery sort of part, and it comes through like this. And this is what I was wrestling with earlier on. So this is soldered right onto the cable. Okay, and then the way you're supposed to get it done is when you take the carburetor off, you can manipulate it and wiggle this S-curve around. So as this pulls, basically the cable won't come out of that hole. I've snapped it off right here. The piece is missing, but it was right here, and I had it so I could, oh yeah, it's right over here. So there's that piece right there. So now I didn't have this on here. So what was happening is when I put it all back together and I pulled the cable, this would just come right out of the plate. So there's nothing holding it in there. So what I've gone and done is taken this piece that now looks like this, and I filed a notch in here so that it can latch onto that plate, and I also bent this so it's kind of like this now. Hopefully you can see that. So the plate, the hole in the plate is kind of grabbing on. So it's not worth me buying a whole new cable. Probably is to somebody else. So what we got right in there is the plate I'm talking about, and there's two holes, and I know I was in the lower hole, and that was supposed to be the S part in there. Now it just grows in, and there's like a little tooth, and it's grabbing on there, and if I move the throttle, it's catching, it's not coming off. I'm not saying I couldn't yank it off, but it's always under positive pressure, and it's relaxing far enough to go up against the idle screw, which is a cone shaped thing that comes in and out there. So hopefully that will stay on. Try not to abuse it too much. Now this is just a test. I don't have the gasket back on there and all that stuff. So let's just try to gingerly remove that. Okay, that was good. There, you can see it. I better look at it. Hopefully, maybe you can see it now. So it's got a little bit of a dog on it, and there's a little bit of an undercut in there, so it grabs onto that a little bit better than it was up until recently. And my cable has to go back in there. So now I can go ahead and reassemble this. Get my gasket. Of course, which way does that go now? It's got some tabs and nice piece of metal filing there. Okay, looks pretty symmetrical. And I've got that's going to go there, and I've got this plate into that hole. Just loosely. Oh yeah. Huh. The whole reason we came in here. The freaking fuel line. Forgot all about it. How long do I want that? I want it to kink. That's going to sit about there. There's a little bend right. I'm going to cut it right about there. You know what? Cut it a little longer. Because why? I can always cut it off again. And a little bit of heat. Not too much. 1, 2, 3. And no barbs on that. It's just a long friction fit. I get that as far as possible. Pretty good. I think that's got it. All right. How's that look? Yeah. Not too bad. Oh, and what's interesting is I see some black goop up there. And maybe it's like a stuffing box for that, where that hose comes through. I don't really want to get into what that is. Can't beat a good old stuffing box though. How's that looking? And chokey choke. Feels reasonable. And can I get my throttle back on? Nice, it's under tension, so I gotta rev it up a bit here to be able to get that in. So it's always under positive tension, which is good. I mean, for our purposes. Awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I enjoy this sort of stuff. I'm not going to go out and buy a brand new weed eater and rip it apart. But somebody gives me one. What have I got to lose, right? 1, 2, couple detents there. There's our choke. Even under full choke, it's still got a little air coming through there. Okay, I didn't think that was right. Let's just tighten that up a bit more. Okay. So once again, throttle's throttling. And That's tight. Sure took a lot apart that it didn't need to be coming apart. That's the way it goes on DASLABed. Alright, hey, no need looking for those screws. They're right there. Bolts, nuts, what are they? What do you call them? Not screws. Threaded fasteners. Okay. Alright. Yeah, we took all this other stuff apart for no reason. Other than for your entertainment. It's April 2021. If that doesn't mean anything to you, look it up on the Google net. Because that's what we're working on today. Stuff. Okay, let me back up a little bit here. Get the heck out of the way. Good old heat gun. You can't beat it. Okay. Oh yeah. The other wires that are busted apart here. Alright, let's get this back together. It's a longie. You can't really see much, can you? Strange times. Strange times. So, down at the lake we do get a lot of weeds. A lot of bulrushes and other types of weeds. I don't know, I'd have to ask my wife. She can just look at a plant and be on a first name basis with it. It's either a flower or a weed or a tree, to me. But we're having a real tough time. Different years, different evolutions of these weeds, but we have a scythe, which is like your big sling blade. Some people call it a geyser blade, I call it a sling blade. I call it a scythe, I guess. And we use that for getting rid of the weeds, which is manual, but you know, it's like cutting your grass with a pair of shears, right? You can do that, sure, go ahead. There's other ways that are noisier and funner. So I don't think there'd be any problem. I should probably look into maintaining the shaft and seeing if there's any sort of lube, because that whole head's going to be underwater when we're using it. Click. Click. Yeah, one more thing I broke is these wires. One of these wires. I'll just crimp it on. That'll be good enough. These guys. Not sure exactly how much further apart I'd have to take this. Can I go back together? Yeah. What's down here? Something stop right down here. Yeah, I'll just continue with this. I'll come back and get you one. Okay, I have crimped on a new connector, reconnected that one, and now to hide my shame, a little bit of heat shrink and a little bit of heat. All right, and that's really about it. Still turns over, good compression, still a powerful beast. Put that gas cap back on, and I don't have any fuel here, so I think we're going to wait till tomorrow, and we'll gas it up, see if she runs. Okay, so before I fire this up, I do see there's a screw here, a bolt for probably some sort of a fluid level check, and I'm just looking at the blade, and it is sharp, and I'm looking for broken teeth or anything that could fly off and hurt me or you. And it's funny, there's actually a little bit of an offset on the teeth, right? They're not all in line, so that they actually will cut a wider slot than the blade. So everything looks pretty good. Is that the same rust spot? Everything looks pretty good. So I say the next thing we do is put some fuel in it and see if we're going to get any leakage out of the can you see there? Out of the new gas line. So I'm not going to put much in because I'm transporting this, if this all works, transporting it to the other lab out by the lake. Why bother? Okay. So just enough for a test. Just enough. And I don't think I'm going to get enough angle to tell yet. This thing is not light. I'm not seeing any fuel leaking here. You see? Okay. So it looks good. Let's take it out and try starting it up. All right. See if we can get this thing going. I cheated a bit. I was choking it already, and I got it partly running. It just doesn't fly. Okay, it's busy when you're out here on the street. There's people coming by all the time. The problem is I'm not sure which one's the high and which one's the low. So I'm just kind of adjusting it. Well, I could fool around with this all day, and I probably will. You don't need to sit there and watch that. We got the gas line fixed. No fuel coming out of that. We've got the throttle that I mangled up fixed. My kill switch is working fine. Other than a small engine tune-up, we're good to go. So thanks for watching. That's all I got for you this time. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe down there in the nether regions. And have fun. Be safe. Don't get any on you. See you next time.